And so I remember talking to an owner and I had asked her the same question. And actually, we were talking about something. And so her response was something like the fact of, oh, I never have to go in the classrooms, right? Like I've already got a staffing, a team of people and all this. And so I had asked her that question. I said, well, let me ask you this question, okay? So yeah, and that's great. Staff members there, you have a team and you've kind of got that set. But if two of those teachers call out sick on you tomorrow, then what do you have? Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Benz of ashleybenz.com. I am the founder and creator of Childcare Business Executive Tools, where I help the overworked childcare business owner remove yourself from the day-to-day operations, reduce your working hours so that you can ultimately step into that CEO role, get out of that director role, and have a better work-life balance, okay? So if you are interested in that, be sure that you subscribe to this channel. So today we are going to talk about the childcare staffing scenario that you want to avoid. And the question I'm going to ask you is, are you prepared for this happening? So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. But before we jump in, I do want to welcome back all of my loyals and my regulars back to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here and you have just recently subscribed, I just want to say welcome. This is a big virtual hug to you. Super excited to have you here. And if you have been watching my videos or you just stumbled upon my video, be sure that you subscribe to this channel. As always, go ahead and hit that little bell so that you're notified of when I do post up new videos. And let's go ahead and jump into today's video. But before we do that, y'all already know the drill. Go ahead and grab you something to sip on. This is your time to invest in yourself and to invest in a better work-life balance for you. And we're gonna do that in about 20 minutes or less. I'm gonna give you some tips you're gonna implement, and we are gonna do this thing. So let's go ahead and take a sip and let's jump into today's video. Okay, so the one thing that is most important for you is that you have leverage. And when I say leverage, I am talking about leverage to call all the shots and be in a position or not be in a position where you can't call all the shots due to some staffing issues. Now, example of what that looks like. Well, you have a staff member that is there that does not need to be, and you can't come in there and tell them, you know what, today is your last day, please leave. Because why? Because you need to have a body in there for staff to child ratios and for regulation purposes. What is another example of being able to call all the shots if you need to and not being hindered because of some staffing issues? Maybe you have a staff member that you need to move into a different area or different position, and you can't do that because of whatever the issue is and whatever the issues that you have had. You need to have leverage, okay? And that is my point. You need to have leverage as a CEO. So today I wanted to help you test your leverage, your overall leverage, using my staff scenario testing, okay? Now, this is a question that if I talk to an owner and you come to me and you're saying, hey, Ashley, I'm really interested in working with you. I need help X, Y, and Z. This is what I've got going on. This is one of the actual tests that I actually kind of pull somebody through. And this really helps me and you to see what type of leverage that you have, okay, or don't have. And I do have other scenarios and things like that I'll test on someone. But this one here is the one that really, honestly, if you're not prepared for this scenario happening, you're going to be in big trouble, okay? And so this is a question that I'm going to ask you right now, okay? If you were to have two teachers call out sick on you, let's say tomorrow, okay? Are you prepared for that? And that the answer that needs to be is that you can handle that and you're not pulled into the classroom because you have not only one teacher, but two teachers calling out. Now, technically, You shouldn't even have to be pulled in the classroom if you've got one teacher called out. But the scenario of the two teacher scenario is one that I have seen time and time again. And it really is a way to almost kind of put your childcare business through the ringer in that way, and mainly your staffing structure through the ringer, and be able to see if you're prepared for that. Now, some of y'all have already had this happen because of COVID, okay? And so you can probably answer that question. And the answer that I know most are having or have had is that we were not prepared for that. I was not prepared to have two teachers out to have to quarantine for 14 days. And so when we talk about leverage, leverage means that you are not affected by two teachers, one teacher, three teachers, whatever, calling out sick tomorrow. You are not affected by that. Your CEO role that keeps you in your office working on the growth of your childcare business or preschool program is not affected by that, okay? So basically what that boils down to, if two teachers call in, you've got a system in place that will still allow for the floors, the classrooms to be managed. Nothing's going to be shifted out of place. And even down to the point where the director or assistant director doesn't have to go in the classroom, okay? That is true leverage, and that is healthy leverage. And so I remember talking to an owner, and I had asked her the same question. And actually, we were talking about something, and so her response was something like the fact of, oh, I never have to go in the classrooms, right? Like, I've already got a staffing, a team of people and all this. And so I had asked her that question. I said, well, let me ask you this question, okay? So yeah, and that's great. Staff members there, you have a team, and you've kind of got that set. But if two of those teachers call out sick on you tomorrow, then what do you have? Okay. And a lot of times you get comfortable with what you have. You get comfortable thinking that the team that you have there, because they've been with you for X, Y, and Z, 3 years or whatever, and I don't have an issue with staff turnover. You are comfortable with that. But we have all seen that things can change, and it can change really quick. And the question is, are you prepared for that? Okay. I even had an owner who she was telling me that over the pandemic, she had a teacher that had been with her for the beginning of time. And this teacher decided to quit and retire and go traveling with her husband. And then this owner, because this owner did not have that kind of leverage, she was scrambling to try to find someone that was going to replace this amazing teacher. Okay. And it was a big mess for her, for this owner. And so what most owners have, and I am really speaking to you if you have a good staffing structure and you think you've got that down right now. And even if you don't, but what most owners don't have is a backup for the backup. Okay. And that was something that I learned really quick, that, okay, I've got to have a backup for the backup, right? Even though I know that my two main teachers are great, they are loyal, I can count on them, but they are human beings. And let me just tell you, life happens to us all. And when that happens, and I don't have a backup for the backup, then I'm going to be backed up somewhere. Okay. And that's going to be backed up in work. Okay. And backed up in everything else that's going on, that's going to just kind of shift my day. And it could shift you for a couple of weeks, as we have all learned that to happen. So your center or preschool program should not be set up in a way that disrupts your CEO role, okay? Because when that happens, then, you always look at it like this, okay? You are the captain of this big ship that you are in charge of making sure that you get to where you're going every single day, okay? Every day. That is your duty and job. And you cannot be guiding the ship to where the next destination is, whatever that looks like for you. You can't do that if you're back in the cabin, hanging out in the classrooms. You can't do that, because then you can't see where you're going. And what happens is that when you spend too much time Okay, when that captain of that big cruise ship, okay, if he spends too much time back in the cabins, on the different decks, trying to help manage the cafeterias or the eating areas, and then trying to help manage the activities that go on, if he spends too much time back in those areas, I guarantee you that big boat is going to hit a rock. It is going to come into some stormy weather. And then what's going to happen is this captain is going to have to run back, but into that area where he's steering the boat. And then he's going to be going into a reactive, game here instead of proactive. Okay. Why? Because he was too busy back in the back and he didn't see this big storm coming ahead. Okay. So just remember that your center should not be set up in a way that disrupts your CEO role, and your role, which is to guide, lead, and grow your childcare business. All right, so as we wrap up today's video, I know this was a heated one. This was one that's probably going to get you to thinking. But let me just say this. As we wrap up today's video, if you are needing a backup for the backup, which is going to be your very first step in removing yourself from the day-to-day operations and basically leading yourself into a better work-life balance. See, for you to have a better work-life balance, you need support. Okay. And that support is going to come in the team, the staff, and all the people that are around you on a day-to-day basis that help you run your center or your preschool program. Like that's got to be right. Okay. And if it's not, you're not going to get to this place where you can have a great work-life balance, gain your vitality back, and have a childcare business that allows you to not only just exist, but live. Because see, some of you all right now are just existing, but you're not living, okay? So if you need that, listen, I'm here, I got you. What I need for you to do right now, this is your first step, first homework assignment for me to you, is to click the link in the description box, okay? It's gonna say free masterclass, how I ensured coverage at all times. And I'm gonna show you how to have a backup to the backup and how to create a funnel, okay? A staffing structure system, which is a funnel that creates the team for you, and how to really have that going on autopilot and be able to learn how to attract the quality staff that you need, and have that thing kind of running in the background of your day so that you are never in a position where you don't have candidates, okay, that are ready to work for you, and not just any candidates, but the right kind of candidates. So anyway, so much of that is in that masterclass. So be sure to click that link in the description box. If you're just getting started, because I know that I have a lot of you all here that are so excited to get started into this industry and open up your own childcare business, be sure to click the link down in the description box, and there is a free training for you on that as well. Also, if you have watched this video all the way through, girl, you better go ahead and click that like, okay? Give this video some thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have yet to do that. And be sure to hit that little bell so that you're notified of when I do post up videos, which is every single week. I'm super excited about being posting up these videos every single week. So go ahead and do all those little things. Homework, that's homework. I'm already giving you homework, already getting you working. And you guys, I will see you in the next video. As always, I am sending you my prayers of encouragement and success your way. You've got this. God is with you. I'll see you next time. Up to, into the area. I don't know what it's called, y'all. Y'all, girl, go ahead and grab, look at me.